This incident happened on one of the crossroads of North Miami, where a police officer found out a dog in an unusual stillness. As she tried to observe her closely, the sight blew her mind. In the heart of North Miami, on a sweltering summer afternoon, Officer Maria Rodriguez was on her routine patrol when she noticed something out of the ordinary. A dog, standing unnaturally still on the sidewalk, caught her attention. As she approached, her steps slowed, and an eerie feeling crept over her. What she was about to discover would shake her to her core. The dog, a medium-sized mixed breed, appeared to be in a trance-like state. Its fur was matted and dirty, but that wasn't what made Officer Rodriguez's breath catch in her throat. As she drew closer, she noticed a disturbing wound on the side of the dog's head. It wasn't fresh, but it was severe enough that the animal shouldn't have been standing, let alone alive. Cautiously, Officer Rodriguez reached out to the dog. In a split second, the animal's demeanor changed dramatically. The seemingly docile creature lunged at her, teeth bared, eyes wild with a mix of fear and determination. Rodriguez stumbled backward, narrowly avoiding the snapping jaws. This behavior was completely at odds with the dog's initial state. Something was terribly wrong. As Rodriguez radioed for animal control, the dog suddenly took off down the street. Against her better judgment, the officer decided to follow. Her instincts told her this was more than just a case of a stray dog. Little did she know she was about to uncover a mystery that would lead her down a rabbit hole of shocking discoveries. The dog led her through a maze of alleys and back streets, always staying just out of reach. Finally, in a secluded corner behind an abandoned building, Rodriguez made a heart-wrenching discovery. There, huddled together in a makeshift den, were 3 tiny puppies. They were weak, malnourished, and whimpering softly. The mother dog, despite her grave injury, had been struggling to keep her babies alive. The realization hit Rodriguez like a ton of bricks. This wasn't just a wounded animal. This was a mother fighting against all odds to protect her young. With the help of animal control, Rodriguez managed to safely transport the mother and her puppies to the Knowles Animal Clinic. The veterinarians were baffled by what they saw. The dog's injury was unlike anything they had encountered before. Initial assumptions of a gunshot wound were quickly dismissed upon closer examination. Dr. Sarah Thompson, the lead veterinarian, ordered a series of tests and X-rays. What they revealed would leave everyone stunned. There was no bullet lodged in the dog's skull as they had initially suspected. Instead, they found traces of a strange, unidentified metal and signs of a severe infection. As days passed, the story of the brave mother dog spread throughout North Miami. The local media picked up on the story, dubbing the resilient canine Miracle. Animal rights activists and concerned citizens rallied around Miracle's case, demanding a thorough investigation into what appeared to be a cruel act of animal abuse. Meanwhile, Officer Rodriguez couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to this story. She began digging deeper, following every lead she could find. Her investigation led her to interview locals, check security camera footage, and even consult with metallurgists about the strange substance found in Miracle's wound. Weeks turned into months, and Miracle's physical condition improved under the care of Dr. Thompson and her team. The puppies, too, began to thrive. But the mystery surrounding their mother's injury remained unsolved. Just as it seemed the trail was going cold, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. A social media post, shared thousands of times, caught the attention of a former neighbor of Miracle's original owners. The post included a photo of Miracle before her injury, looking happy and healthy with a couple in front of a small house on the outskirts of the city. This tip led Rodriguez to a rundown property just outside North Miami. What she found there would blow the case wide open and reveal a truth more disturbing than anyone could have imagined. Who were Miracle's original owners? What terrible events led to her grievous injury? And how did she manage to survive against all odds? The answers to these questions would soon come to light, leaving the entire community of North Miami in shock and disbelief. The couple who once owned Miracle, known then as Lucy, were identified as Mark and Leah Green, living on the outskirts of town. Then came a breakthrough that shook the community to its core. Their confession painted a picture of neglect turned to unthinkable cruelty. Miracle, once their pet named Lucy, had been cast out due to financial hardship. Her loyalty, drawing her back to the only home she knew, had been met with a drunken act of violence. A screwdriver thrust into her skull in a misguided attempt to drive her away. The tool had penetrated the dog's skull, but miraculously missed her brain. Panicked and guilt-ridden, the couple had driven miles away and abandoned the injured dog, assuming she would succumb to her wounds. The truth behind Miracle's injury left the community reeling. How could someone commit such a heinous act against an innocent animal? The case sparked intense debates about animal welfare, responsible pet ownership, and the need for stricter animal cruelty laws. As news of the Greens' arrest spread, public outrage grew. Protesters gathered outside the courthouse, demanding justice for Miracle. The case became a rallying cry for animal rights activists across the country. Meanwhile, at Noel's Animal Clinic, Miracle continued to defy the odds. Dr. Thompson and her team worked tirelessly to treat the unusual infection caused by the screwdriver. The metal fragments had introduced a rare type of bacteria into Miracle's system, creating a complex medical challenge. Despite the difficulties, Miracle's will to live never wavered. Her determination to care for her puppies, even in her severely injured state, touched the hearts of everyone involved in her care. As Miracle recovered, her puppies grew stronger each day. The impact of Miracle's story reached beyond just animal welfare. It sparked conversations about compassion, responsibility, and the bonds between humans and animals. People began to reflect on their own relationships with pets and the commitments involved in animal care. Months after her discovery on that fateful summer day, Miracle was finally well enough to be considered for adoption. The decision of where she and her puppies would go became a matter of intense public interest. Thousands of applications poured in from people touched by her story and eager to give her a loving home. In the end, a local family was chosen to adopt Miracle and one of her puppies. The other two puppies were adopted by equally loving families, with the promise to keep the siblings in touch. The day Miracle left the clinic was emotional for everyone involved, especially Officer Rodriguez and Dr. Thompson, who had been with her since the beginning of her journey. The tale of Miracle, the dog who survived against all odds, became more than just a local news story. It evolved into a legend, a testament to the strength of the animal spirit and the positive change that can come from even the most tragic circumstances. North Miami would never forget the summer when a wounded mother dog taught an entire community about love, resilience, and the miracle of second chances.